Good morning, guys. All right, take your head off a second. Sure, thank you so much. Okay, so as readers, guys, sometimes we come across certain types of descriptions in books, right? And we find language that we might think means one thing, but it really means something else. So we're going to ask ourselves as we read, what might the author want us to picture in this part of the book as we're reading, okay? And what things is the author comparing? So right now what we're going to do is we're going to start reading a chapter, the first chapter from the book Fire in the Streets by Yaquelin, and it's on your reading level, so you guys should have a good time with it. And I want you guys to pay attention to the parts that are underlined, okay?
Okay.
All right, great. All right, so why don't we start, Yaquelin? Why don't you start reading? And nice and loud so I can hear you.
Chapter 1, bad things happen in the heat. Pacing. It's headed to the scorcher dawn, just barely cracking. Sweat seen already on both skins.
You're doing great. Keep going. You're doing wonderfully.
No one says that I'm stopping too much. It's not how I read.
Okay, start again.
I'm not good at reading out loud. I'm good at reading out loud.
Okay, go ahead.
Bad things happen in the heat, they say. It's headed to be scorcher.
Good.
Dawn just barely cracking, sweat seen already on the skin. Today could turn into a lot of things, but when it's hot like this, ain't none of them good.
Okay, stop right there. Okay, so I'm going to go back and reread this part. Bad things happen in the heat, they say. It's headed to be a scorcher. Dawn just barely cracking, sweat sheen already on the skin. Today could turn into a lot of things, but when it's hot like this, ain't none of them good. It's hot. It's headed to be a scorcher.
It means like it's like really hot.
Okay, when I'm going through this and I look at the word scorcher, and I'm not quite sure what it means. So basically, I'm going to look back around the other text. It says, dawn just barely cracking, sweat. So a clue there is the word sweat, right? That's already on the skin. So it's hot like this. Then it says today it turns into a lot of things, but when it's hot. So there are two clues. The word sweat, I'm going to circle it, and the word hot. Both of these words give me a clue that perhaps scorcher is not really something that means something more like that it's super hot, right? Because where have you ever heard the word scorch before? Okay, and what did you hear that?
It's in the name of the video.
Okay, and any other one heard? Have you ever heard of scorching yourself?
I heard it like in the sentence that I heard it in the con. Like really hot.
Could you use that sentence right now?
Scorching outside.
Okay. So it's very hot outside. Okay. Now let's keep going. So we just figured out a word that was challenging for us. But
I already know what that meant. So.
What we were really looking to do as we read right now is to find language that the author might write in one way, but it really means something else. Okay?
So does it mean really hot?
So in this case, yes. So we're just trying to determine this word. What we're really trying to do is keep reading and find language that the author writes in one way but means something else.
Okay.
So how about we keep reading? Keep going, Yaquelin.
There's a knot in my stomach, the size of some fish.
Stop right there. There's a knot in my stomach. What's a knot?
Like twist something.
It's like tight.
Something that's tied, right? In a knot. Now, I'm going to ask myself, is there really a knot in the stomach? Is there really a knot in her stomach? Does she really have... Ooh, I think I could tie this in a knot. So, all right, this is a knot, right? Does she really have this in her stomach?
Somebody force it down. Maybe.
Yeah, so she really doesn't have a knot in her stomach. So what's the author really trying to tell us here?
It's hurting or something?
Okay, so how'd you figure that out? Let's keep reading the next sentence to see how we figure that out. Go ahead.
Today's the sort of day when it's
You
best
one
to
of my
lay
kids.
down, lay low, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, so based on what you just read, What do you think the author means here? There's a knot in my stomach the size of a fist. We know it's not a real knot. So what do we think it really means?
It's not her day. I don't know. She's feeling bad.
She's feeling bad. Okay, how'd you figure that out?
Because she said that it's not the best day for her.
Okay, so you use the words, the language around this sentence to figure out what this means. Now, the knot in my stomach, what is that called when the author uses one
Figurative
thing?
language.
Correct, figurative language. How did you know that? It's figurative language when the author uses one type of language but means something else. Okay? So now I want you guys to try it on your own. You're going to keep reading, and then you're going to go to the very back. So the last page, page 6. And they're in the last paragraph, it reads, I glance across the cab at my friends, knowing it isn't the time of day. Or Hanlon either, that's got her tongues tied. There's something in the air, okay? And you're going to go through this part, the last paragraph in page 6, to determine, you can use mine, to determine if, you're going to keep reading, and you're going to determine if the last paragraph, what that figurative language means, okay? So what does the author mean by that figurative language? So could you guys work on that? You're going to have to read through in order to figure that out. So keep reading, and when you get to page 6, I would. And then when you get to page 6,
You're reading in this table, and we'll go back to
you can read it right now.
Can I go back to my seat?
Okay, the reminder is we need you at voice level 0. So answer this question and this question. Please don't do that. Okay, so answer this question and this question. Diego, can you answer this question and this question? Okay, so we're quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, we need you at voice level 0. Otherwise, we cannot do this, Adrian. Adrian, that is 15 minutes after school, sir.
I'm not coming.
Okay, go ahead, focus.
I want to read this. I want to practice reading out loud.
Okay, you can read
I
it.
always like stutter, even though
Okay, go ahead. Jacqueline, go ahead.
Where? What was I?
Hammonds
Oh, Hammonds always picked up through the Chicago streets real slow. And it's always a demonstration downtown. Hammonds cat. That's a weird thing to spell. Patrick sit silent. He spins through the windshield.
Why am I getting 15
It's strange. The three of us being together like this, but not saying nothing. I think it's Spanish. Knows how to work her mouth. And I can give her a turn. I can give her a turn for her money. Emily always gives me her word into no questions. From the time we meet. Every morning we get out of school or the counter office, wherever. John and he would sit all wide eyed, dumb like strangers. Then again, we're usually alone. Right now, Hamlet is sitting so close, his elbows banging to me with every turn of the wheel. Sorry, Maxie, it's okay. But I hold my arms closed over my chest. Over my chest to keep.
Can you write Joseph up too? Because Joseph is talking to me.
I'm talking to those, sir.
In the back, among the boxes, is Raheem and the kid we all call Gumbo. Your name George. He came up from the south to south, some silent Gumbo. His voice holds that flame. Nice enough guy, decent looking. People mostly say the name of my friend. Being that he's my brother, I can't really judge. He's back there, probably looking for maybe
Don't you show me?
Raheem's always saying, which means he won't let me do anything that counts.
Joseph says,
Maxie, when you're older, As the answer to just about everything, my name's Black Panther already, and I'm going to be one too. Just as soon as 11. 14, not old enough apparently. Hamlet, bend over the steering wheel as the truck curves through the loop. He's
Vigilant.
What does that mean?
Vigilant. Vigilant means that he's very, basically always trying to work hard at doing it. So he pays attention. He's very. Yep.
He's very vigilant, staying surroundings, like he's talking to the taking the temperature of things. As we get closer to the park, block after block, the city comes in. So when they stop, people eat along the sidewalks, sip coffee, buy newspapers.
Okay, I'm gonna have Diego start. Go ahead.
Today's
Go ahead. Kurt, let's go.
Today's headline should have been scared.
Please take your hand.
In the demonstration last night, not everything seems calm and quiet like a regular Tuesday morning, except for the police lining the streets. Many more I've ever seen at once. Emily yawns, breaking the stillness, cuts a sideways glance toward her. Beyond her, Patrice is chewing on her nail, the only one of us not even trying to hide her nervousness. I breathe out long and slow, trying to let them knot
To settle.
To settle the knot.
What did we say the knot was?
Tired.
The bad feelings.
Yeah, so the nervousness, the butterflies, the bad feelings. Okay.
I gotta listen to this. And we don't even know yet. We don't even know yet what this really is. I'm not usually scared to go to a demonstration. I'm like, he knows that this one won't be like any demonstration we've ever been to. He tried to warn me off from it, but I had to be there. The Democratic National Convention is the biggest thing to happen in Chicago since I don't know what. And if there's going to be a demonstration and the Panthers are going to be there, then I'm going to be there too. I told them, blame this day. The girls come along because we will
Okay. Now I'll read this part. Around the neighborhood, people run our names together like one word. Hey, Maxie, Patrice, Emily, Yaquelin, inseparable, close like sisters for as long as I can remember. Through good times, sad times, crazy times. Right now qualifies a downright rough time. The world is shifting, exploding, ruining. None of us know how to deal with it. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to read Jacqueline and Diego from here to the end, and then answer the questions. Yes.
Oh.
And answer the question. No, right here.
No, man, I won't.
Yes, right here. I need you guys to follow through. Let's go. You can do this. You guys are amazing readers. Go ahead.